to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they come in off a loss last time out, but overall they've been playing well. 6 wins and 8 prior to that defeat. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Jackson now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession.
In last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And incomplete to open things up. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Time to look at the defensive starters for Green Bay. Currently #1 in the NFL against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. He throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. So how's that for an interesting way to start this ball game?
First drive of the game and you go backwards all the way into your own end zone?
Guess it kind of makes you wonder what else we might have in store here in this one. And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Vince Beagle, the one to bring him down. These two teams met in Week 1 a year ago, and that went to the Packers in a slugfest 17-9. Now remember, they also met in overtime. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Now Wilson on first down. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, the first NFL pick for the rookie Denzel Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Following the interception, Kaiser. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They go play action. Kaiser. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
On the move to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
On the passing downs, that's a pretty good first step right there.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring and moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
A gain of 6 there on first. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receiver. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just 1 throw.
On third down, Wilson. Escaping the pressure run. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
That's something you have to be aware of. Is it makes plays like that.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. It's the Seahawks on top here early. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They go play action here with first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
To throw is Wilson. They'll set up the screen with Davis. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down.
And that's why you spend the first round drafting.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete. The veteran tight end Mercedes Lewis, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. From the shotgun, Wilson. His pass caught with the 4. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Mercedes Lewis, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot. If they didn't get it there, that had to feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He got 29 yards that time.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Play fake. Mayfield. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tackle there by Clay Matthews. They go play action. Mayfield. And incomplete on the deep ball. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you...
The pocket. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he'll go down at the 28. Now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. If it was sunny, maybe this is a field goal attempt. But with the rain, they're going to go for it on 4th down. Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. From the red zone now, Mayfield. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Mayfield off the play fake. Flush to his right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free. Every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And Crosby puts it through, and they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD.
Set to continue as we are underway in the second half. The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And now Mayfield on the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
He's got Adams on the hookup. They convert on third with a gain of 22. So from play action now. Here's Mayfield. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Williams. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Malik McDowell there to make the tackle. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Kaiser and the offense staying put. They're going for it. Fourth down, Kaiser. And that is going to be incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call?
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to make it fourth down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
I love what you just said there. You nailed it because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Leopard! Leopard!
He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll hand it off now. Williams fights through, and now a crease. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. He's able to rip. They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
They'll roll him out right, and that is incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, and it's third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation.
And he is in as they have tied it late here in the final minute of the fourth quarter. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused, because they still have some work to do?
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be ready to trot out on the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. He's back to throw. He hits Baldwin right side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So now this thing's coming down to the big left leg of Sebastian Janikowski. Footing obviously an issue in the driving rain. This one for the win. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So in a driving rain, he steps up, puts it through just like he's practicing in a gym somewhere.
How about that? Any little slip in this weather is going to throw him off. He stepped up there like it was perfect conditions, took dead aim, and knocked it through.
So good field position. One last shot for Mayfield here. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Seahawks, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else than their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face the Panthers next week. Meanwhile, for the Packers, it's loss number 3 for them on the year. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.